Hi everyone, this is Maciej and welcome to this free Minecraft training series in which I'm gonna show you how to code your own plugins, right? If you are coming here and you have big ideas, you wanna code big, you wanna build your own server from the ground up, that series will help you. Now, if you're someone that only needs to change a few messages or you just need that small edit and you can't do it yourself, so you're looking for an advice on how to code something very small, very tiny, this video will also help you. So pay attention and just make sure to do the work, follow the steps here. This is not one of these quick 7 minutes videos because these videos just tend to leave you very confused, but this is more like a deep dive series here that I'm gonna take the time needed and really just show you step by step on how to get things done using high coding standards, high level of understanding, and then eliminate confusion, eliminate blockage, and really make coding fun, exciting, and easy activity. So here is what we're going to cover today. We're going to set up Java, specifically Java Development Kit 8, which I'm going to explain later. And we're going to choose and set up your IDE, which stands for the program that you need to code with, just like you use Word to make Word documents. You use PowerPoint, for example, or Keynote to make presentations. So people who make plugins, people who code in Java programming language, they use something called IDE, right? And specifically, I'm going to show you Eclipse and IntelliJ IDEs, and I'm going to choose IntelliJ for the purpose of this training. And then I'm going to set up a testing server on your PC for Minecraft so that you can actually, if you make some small code edit, you can actually see this directly on your screen. How cool is that? You don't have to pay for anything. It's completely for free and you get to test your plugins live on a live server that's running on your PC directly. And then I'm going to explain how to learn Java the best way if you want to code plugins. So very cool stuff. Now a few words about me at the beginning. My name is Maciej. I am in Minecraft since 2011 and I've been coding Java since 2012. So that's very long time. That's close to 8 years now. And I'm the founder of Spigot course and Mine Academy. And I got over 500,000 software downloads for plugins like Chat Control, Boss, Core Arena, Winter, and many more. And I got over 30,000 unique players that I had on my own server or on the servers that I managed for others. And I got over 600 students that we do coach in mineacademy.org portal. You can actually learn more about me if you go to mineacademy.org, and then you can just see the page and you can read about what I do, what I what's my expertise like, and what you can get out of it. So that's a few words about me. I try to keep this short and be a little bit humble. I don't like to brag that much, but I just needed to explain, to give you some trust hints that, okay, I'm not any random guy just coming, from just like an overnight success and then out of nowhere, I want to teach you something. So I got some good experience in it. Now, important before we start here, this is a part of a series we have on YouTube. It's called Minecraft Training Series. And I want you to have winners added you. It doesn't really matter if you come to this video randomly or if you watch, every single video religiously. It doesn't really matter. I want everybody here to have a winner added you. So you should have taken your time to complete all of the previous videos in this series in sequential order. Now, what do I mean by that? This video is one of many videos, and you should complete all of the videos that have been released previously. And why is that? Because I explain things only once, and in the last video I explained what is Bukkit, what is Spigot, and all of that stuff. And if you missed that, then this video will make no sense to you. So really do not rush. And if you have skipped to watch this video, or if you just randomly found it without watching the previous ones, now you will not understand it and get no results, and it'll just be a hell lot of confusion, right? So really what I found when I was working with my students is that coding is overwhelming and slow. if you skip ahead and you just try to, get shit done as fast as possible. But it can be fun and it's easy if you follow the steps and you do the work. So we are all here to win, and we're not here to waste our time. So do yourself the favor, if you are serious, if you want to code plugins, watch the one video that's before this, and then just follow the training. I promise you, it'll pay dividends for years to come if you are interested in Minecraft. So let's get to work and let's set up Java here. So a little bit about Java. I'm not gonna spend 2 hours. I'm not an old university professor or college professor that needs to explain like how Java was made and all of that stuff. If you want to learn more, we have a course on that. But for this training here, I'll just explain that Minecraft is programmed using the Java programming language. So everything we do is in Java. And that there are 2 distributions of Java. The first is called Java Runtime Environment, or JRE, and the second is called Java Development Kit. And the first one is only for playing games, right? It can run your code, it can run programs, but if you actually want to make the code, then you need the second one. And I'm gonna go back into this later. Now, the biggest advantage here, and the thing that I need to explain here, is that using Java, you literally just write once and you run everywhere, because Java runs on Windows, on Apple, on iOS, right? It runs on macOS, and it also does run on Linux. And the way it works is this. First, you write some kind of natural code. You write player go to XYZ. And then this code gets translated into something called bytecode, which is a special version of your natural human code that is optimized for your machine, that can read like ABCD, go to XYZ, right? Something that it's very much harder to understand, but it is actually easier and faster for the machine to understand. And then this bytecode is your finished, or we call it compiled product, compiled code, which then you download on Windows, on Apple, on Linux, and then each of these machines has Java runtime environment that runs the bytecode, right? So that is why there are 2 distributions of Java. The first one is JRE. This is for running the bytecode, the finished code. And the second, development kit, is for actually writing the natural code. And also, since it has the D for development, it can transform the natural code, it can compile it into bytecode. And that's the one we need. So getting to work, let's get our hands dirty and let's get things done here. Now, I know that this video is out in the time where Java 13 is out already and Java 14 is being developed, but we're just gonna use Java version 8. Because despite new versions, 93% of servers, they use Java 8. And if you don't believe me, go to bstats.org. Whoops, seems like PowerPoint doesn't like me, but if you go to bstats.org, you can actually test it out. This is the statistics service, independent, unofficial statistics service for Minecraft. So if I go here and I click Bukkit and Spigot, you can actually see that they have 100,000 servers logged, which is a pretty good number here. And if you scroll down there, you can see Java version, and then you see 93.2% of people, of all servers, run Java 8. So I know that, some of you may have Java 10 or what else, Java 11 or even Java 13 here, 13.0.1. But the problem there is that if you code using a newer Java version, then you're gonna get exposed to features that are not in Java 8, and then your plugin will break completely if you attempt to run it on 93 servers over the whole world, right? So that is not a good idea. You should be using Java 8, and that's what we are going to get today. And first and foremost, clean old versions of Java, right? So I'm just gonna go over this briefly. We do have more information how to do that properly in the course, but just type uninstall Java 8, and then, for example, if you're on Windows, then just type Windows. If you have Mac, just type macOS, and you'll see the first link is uninstallation instructions. You can just click here, and then you'll see how to get rid of all the old Java installations, because trust me, I got so many people having problems with this because they have some sort of very old Java installed, or they got the wrong Java version installed. They have Java runtime environment instead of JDK, right? So just get rid of everything and then install JDK new. And if you do install JDK, it's going to install runtime environment for you again. So that's why you should get rid of this first. So let's install the JDK 8. And it's pretty hard to get these days, since Oracle has changed the way you can get it. So you actually need to sign up for their account. So that's why we found an alternative version of getting around it. So just go to mineacademy.org/get-java like this, and then you'll be redirected into a repository. And then if you are running on Windows, click that link. If you have macOS, just click that link, and if you have Linux, just get it using this link here, and you should be able to install it normally. So just make sure you get rid of the old version you have and you put in the new version you have. And if you install this, just make sure to tick to install Java runtime environment, because you do need both. But this installer will put in both on your PC. So that's why I'm telling you that you should get rid of everything first and then install JDK, which contains JRE already. So that's how you do it. All right, and now that you have Java installed, hopefully, it's time to set up your test server. As I promised, I'm going to show you how to set up a server that's running directly on your machine so that you can save time when you want to code or test any plugin. And for that reason here, I prepared a small link that's going to take you to another link that's in Minecraft Wikipedia. So just go to mineacademy.org/server-tutorial. Let me show you what that does. So go there and you're going to be transferred into Minecraft Wikipedia article. And in this article, you can just read it, and then you'll find the instructions for Windows, for macOS, and down here for Linux on how to get your server running. I'm not going to spend too much time on this because this video would get 1 hour long, and I'm going to show you later on how to get a full training on all of this stuff, because I'm really just scratching the surface here. But the next step is you should pause this video after I'm finished talking about it, and then set up your server. So the best way to set up a server is to use Paper. And please just make sure that you watched the previous video in this series, because I'm going to explain there what Paper is and how Minecraft is actually modified. Paper is a modification of Spigot, which is a modification of Bukkit, which I don't have here, but Bukkit is modification of the original Minecraft server, because by default you cannot put plugins on the original Minecraft server from the company behind Minecraft, because it doesn't support ones. It doesn't support any plugins. So that's why we need to use something that does support them, and I recommend getting Paper instead of Spigot, because Spigot is a pretty hard thing to get these days. So you can just use Paper, and then it'll be easier to set up your testing server. And to get Paper, now make sure you have the previous link open, but instead of getting, I don't think they provide a link here for Minecraft server. Oh yeah, they do. But this is the official one, so you're not going to be able to run any plugins on it, right? So that's why I'm getting back and I'm showing you how to get Paper. So go to papermc.io while having the previous link open, and then just go to downloads. And then just select your Minecraft version, right? 1.14, for example, and click the build here. And there we go. It's now downloaded. So I now have this on my desktop. And what I recommend you do is you create a new folder, let's say test server, and you place it directly in that server. And you can just get rid of the number here, and then you go back into this link, and then you go to your specific instructions. For me, it's Windows, and then you're gonna find the bed file here, and you're gonna select this and copy this. For macOS, it's this, and then for Linux, it should be for Linux. I don't even know. I don't even know. Oh yeah, I think is this one and then that one, right? I think they have a small typo here, so this one should not be here, but it's just this and that, these two lines. All right, so now you need to right click in that folder and then select new and then text document and just name it, let's say start, or you can name it run, whatever you want, it doesn't matter. Open this, paste what you have copied, and then simply rename this into paper. And you can get rid of the no guy here option. This is no needed for paper. And then the how much memory you want to assign for your server, I just recommend you have 1 G for 1 gigabyte, regardless of how demanding your plugins should be, because the lower the memory you assign, the more strain, the slower will the server run, and so it's not gonna take so much memory from your computer to do other things, but also it will force you to code plugins that run faster, right? Because if you would assign a lot of memory, then if you would code a poor plugin, you would not notice early. So that's why I recommend you set the number to a low number. And if you don't know how much memory you have available, then you can just right click the taskbar here, then select Task Manager, go to Performance, and then there it says physical memory total 32,000. So I can assign 1 out of 32,000 megabytes. I can assign 1,000 megabytes, which is 1 G, capital G, and that will run just fine. If you have Windows 10, this is Windows 10 by the way, but I have got some customizations here. If you have Windows 10, then it's a bit different. And for macOS, it's actually up here, and you click there and you select about your Mac. So that's about it. Now you can just hit Control Save, Control S to save it, close it, and then make sure you can see the .txt here. If you can't see that, then you can just click Organize and then Options and then View, and then go to, I think here, Show Hidden Files. No. Then make sure that this is unticked. Hide extensions for known file types, right? So make sure this is not ticked and then click OK. And now double click this slowly, right? So click once and then click twice. After 1 second, select it and rename it to BAT and hit enter. And now if I run it, it's gonna say downloading vanilla jar, patching it, and then you can close it and then go to eula.txt, type edit this, select it, write it to true, and then simply run it again. And I'm gonna show you how to connect to it. So go to your Minecraft and launch it normally. And the server is gonna take a while to load on the first launch because it has to generate the worlds and everything. So I'm just gonna make a small cut and I'm gonna return to this video when it's finished. All right, so it's finished. It took 30 seconds for me. And if you need to connect, well, you obviously need to connect to it. So go to multiplayer. And then you can simply add a server. So click add server, say my testing server, and then for the address you type localhost only, nothing else, because by default this is sufficient to be able to connect to it. Click done, and you should be able to see a Minecraft server here, and you can join it. There we go. It says Kangaroo logged in with entity ID. There we go. I'm in the game and I am on my own Minecraft server. Now it's a bit tricky to get real players on it because you have to do some port forwarding and open your computer for different, sorts of connections, which is unsafe. It can be risky. So I'm not going to show you this in this tutorial series because I think it's totally useless, because this server, the only purpose behind it is to test whatever you need to test quickly to save time, right? So that's the only reason we're having one. Alright, so that's about it. That's how you set up a very quick test server. Once again, if you need more information, you can just read this article here, but I'm just going to through this fairly quickly because I made a promise in the last video that I'm not gonna make 2-hour long videos. If you need more details, then we actually have a course for this that I'm gonna talk about later. All right, so now I'm gonna talk about how to learn Java. So should you learn Java before coding Minecraft plugins? This is something that I hear quite often. And typically there are two extremes, so make sure to avoid both of them. Number one is when I see people trying to code Minecraft plugins without learning Java. And this is pretty common. This is typically in every freaking YouTube tutorial, how to code Minecraft plugins, and you will see, how you will see some code within like 5 minutes of the video starting, regardless if you have some knowledge or not. And typically people get overwhelmed, plugins will suck, you're gonna feel bad, at the end you will just quit, and plugins won't work, and people can't get past a certain point because they are not self-reliant. If you just try to follow a video, code Minecraft plugin directly without understanding how things work, then you're going to not fix the problem, right? If you need to change something on your own, then you can't be dependent on a training video. You can't be dependent on YouTube tutorial. So I think that's ridiculous, and I think this is an extreme that should be avoided if you want to be successful. Because if you're watching this video up to this point, it has been over 20 minutes now, so congrats to you. And you seem like someone that is dedicated to do this correctly, so avoid this mistake. And then number two is only learning Java and waiting too long before doing it for Minecraft, right? So it's more rare to see these kinds of people, but they do exist, and the problem there is that you're gonna lose motivation, you're gonna forget a lot, you're gonna waste time learning something that you may never actually need. So here's the best way that I found, and I tested this with my student, to start coding Minecraft plugins. And I call it the zigzag way. And this is not some sort of marketing scam that I'm trying to sell you. This is not some sort of program for $2,000. No, it's just the name of the technique. And it looks like this. If you ever went to skiing, then you have seen some people doing these kinds of movements, and this creates a so-called zigzag movement. And this is something that I named the approach. This is the approach that I named if you want to become good quickly in both Java and both Minecraft plugins. And the way it works is you're gonna start with Java, then you're gonna apply it to Minecraft, and then go back and forth, right? Back and forth, back and forth. So essentially, you do this. You start by learning just the basics of Java, and then what you learn, you immediately apply to Minecraft. And then you're gonna learn some more, you're gonna apply it to Minecraft, you're gonna learn some more, you're gonna apply it to Minecraft, you're gonna learn some more, and then you're gonna apply it to Minecraft, right? So it's kind of zigzag. You do both things at the same time. You're not skipping ahead. You're not just learning Java. You're not just learning Minecraft coding. You'll do both. And this will keep your motivation high, because you're gonna always push the limit and achieve at the edge of your capabilities, and you're gonna achieve so-called flow state. I don't have a full slide on flow state, but it's very interesting thing. I recommend you pause this video and you Google it up, because once you get in the flow state, everything else is easy and you're just gonna learn so much quicker. And lastly, you're gonna get so-called winner's effect that will produce massive amounts of self-confidence, because you're gonna feel like you know something, and then you're gonna feel like you're actually achieving something because you can apply it to Minecraft and see the results right away. And lastly, this is the graphics that I wanted to show you. This goes from the top to the bottom. Obviously, here is how the information is sorted and how much we remember. So here the red one is text and verbal symbols. This is something that we remember the least of. And at the bottom here, it says direct, purposeful experiences. And it doesn't say anything about remembering, but this is used to demonstrate how much we remember from different kinds of things. And you want to pay attention to the word purposeful and experience, because if you just experience something but it doesn't have any purpose to it, for example, you have to go to school and you need to experience some boring presentation and then do some boring workshop that is completely, useless to you and you hate it, then you're not going to remember anything. But if there is a purpose, if there is a motivation, then you're going to remember the most of it. So that's why I recommend the zigzag way, because you want to learn Java, you're going to have high purpose behind it, because you want to apply it to Minecraft as quickly as possible and as much as you can, and then go back in Java and then back to Minecraft. So this is the way to go, and trust me, just test it for a month or for 2 months, and then you're going to get massive results out of it. And so what are the best resources to start with Java? Basically, there are three. There are free, almost free, and paid resources. So number one is tutorials.point/Java. You can go to this resource here, tutorials.point.com/Java. Basically, this will give you an overview of most of the things in Java. It has Java home, overview, basic syntax, right? All kinds of that things. And it's pretty good because it has the full, you get instant access to the full curriculum, and it's very easy to navigate, but there is no help, and it may feel a bit of a burden to go through it on your own and try to understand things on your own without any voiceover, without any source code of that depth as we're creating here, as we will be creating here. And it can be a bit tough, but I recommend it because you'll get instant access to the full curriculum so that you can always return to it very quickly. And then lastly, Spigot MC articles or forum posts. These may help, but beware of poor coding standards, tend to be chaotic and outdated. And then we got some almost free resources, that is Udemy courses. That is cheap, but often it is too complex and it's hard to follow sometimes and has poor customer support. At least that's not my experience, but that's what some students of mine reported when they came from some Udemy courses. So beware of that. You may learn a lot of information you don't need in a course like that, because these courses are made generally. These are not made for Minecraft. And then the same mistake, the same problem happens in books. It's not a mistake, it's just a problem for you if you want to save time, if you don't want to spend the next 7 years learning Java, right? So books are often too heavy on information theory, most of which is unneeded for making simple plugins. So if you just want to edit a simple message, you don't need books. And then there is Java Masterclass, that is our special training that's been designed for Minecraft, and it's actually free for students of a flagship course called Project Orient that's going to teach you Minecraft plugins. And there is obviously a lot of help and support. And then there is paid resources. So one-on-one tutoring, you know it, personalized, someone comes home to you, sits by your shoulder and shows you around. I would say this is number one, but it can be too expensive and pretty much time consuming because you have to find a good schedule, pay him lots of money. So there are big downsides as well. And finally, university or college, well, I would say this is the most slow-going information overload you'll get there. And generally, it's a lot of theory and little practice. At least that's what I experienced in my own college as a student. I don't know, maybe you have different experience, but this is generally what happens and what I hear from people. So let's talk about Java Masterclass here. If you want to really get into Java, we have a course for that, and it only takes 4 weeks to get a very deep understanding of the language and how all works, right? So it doesn't require any previous coding knowledge, and it's been designed specifically for people wanting to code their own Minecraft plugins. So you're not learning a bunch of useless crap that's like general to Java. No, you're learning Java, but we selected the stuff that you need for Minecraft plugins. So that's the biggest difference here. And then it's completely free for students of Project Orient. And then obviously we have one-on-one calls, something that I talked about in the last video and in the private member group that you can sign on. I'll sign up for free and you'll get help there. And if you want to learn more information, simply go to mineacademy.org and then /java-master class. So let me show you this link. Looks like that. And then you just click here. Currently, we're not taking any more students. Maybe we will in the future. The only way to get in is to purchase Project Orion Academies, to enroll in Project Orion Academy. So you can just click there and then get Orion. And if you get Project Orion, you'll get access to masterclass for free as a bonus, as being part of Project Orion. So just click here. I can open this, and as you can see, we have 4 weeks of learning. And then the 5th week is just bonus. So really, that's only 4 weeks here. And we got a lot of stuff here, but it's not too much. It's a lot of stuff, but it's not that much that you get overwhelmed and you quit, right? It's only so much as you need. And it's pretty in depth, and there is a lot of materials that you can use and downloads, and such as the slides here or this worksheet here, something that I'm going to show you in today's video as well, when we're going to assemble IntelliJ. And the best of all, you can select which software you want to use, because we support IntelliJ and Eclipse as well. All right, so let's continue. This video is getting a bit longer here, so let's continue and let's talk about IDE. So an IDE is a software we use to write our plugins in, and that stands for Integrated Development Environment. So very simple. What IDE should you use? Most of the people, they use IntelliJ IDEA, but still Eclipse is used heavily. This is a survey that's been done this year. And that's why I teach both IntelliJ and Eclipse in my courses, but in this series I'm only going to be focusing on IntelliJ. And then both are excellent tools to help you make awesome plugins. Both will help you to become self-reliant and make amazing plugins. But both have strengths and weaknesses, like iPhone and Android, for example. But remember this, the key to success is how you use them and not what you use. Because a lot of people, they argue that Eclipse is better or IntelliJ is better than Eclipse. And what I really found after all of these years is that really it's about how you use them, and it's about how good you are in using them, not which one you choose, right? So it's completely up to you, but in this YouTube training, I'm just going to teach IntelliJ. So let's start with Eclipse here. For instance, the biggest advantage is that it is easier to code multiple programs at the same time, and it has an easier management of these programs. This is something that I'm not going to show you because I don't want this video to be 2 hours long, but just remember that if you want to code like 3-4 plugins at the same time and then switch quickly through them, then I would recommend Eclipse just for that. And it's a bit faster and it's less resource demanding on your computer, especially if you have an older PC. And then it has more plugins at the marketplace, meaning there is more to choose from and bigger customization options. However, it is less user-friendly. At the beginning, it can be a bit tricky to learn. And then IntelliJ IDEA, it is easier learning. It has easier learning curve for beginners. It has more code standards checks that will help you. And then it has very cool live search and edit function. However, it is hard to manage when dealing with a lot of plugins or programs at once. And as I said, we're going to choose IntelliJ for this training here. So let's get to work. Let's finish this training series video with setting up IntelliJ. So to get the most out of it, we need to install some plugins and enhance a few settings. And that's why I provide a cheat sheet here from our official masterclass, Java masterclass course. However, we don't get to go in depth of it because it's simply not necessary. And that's why I only provide you finished settings that you can import with one click. So just go to, if you're watching this from YouTube, the link should be in the description and there you should find assembling IntelliJ worksheet. And the reason that I don't go together with you over all of these steps is that, as I said, instead of this, I'm just going to provide you finished settings file. But the reason I go through these steps with my students is that I want to teach them how to understand them one by one, so that my students know how to deal with changes. They know they are fully self-reliant and self-sufficient. There is no stone unturned. Right, so the first thing is obviously getting IntelliJ, and to get it, type IntelliJ into Google, and then click the first link here, and then click download, and then just select the exe file for Windows, and just click download for Mac, and for Linux, and just click download as well. So I'm running under Windows, so I just click download here, and then it should start downloading normally. Once this is done, it should appear on your desktop, and you just click, next, 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 and it should install normally. So that's the first step. The second step here is you can just open the worksheet here and then skip to step 3, installing and configuring plugins. So I just open my IntelliJ here that I already use with my students, and then select configure, and then go to plugins, and then go to marketplace, and then we're going to be needing some extra plugins to enhance how IntelliJ works, because by default it is very cool, but it is not enough for us, right? So number 1, type presentation assistant, and then just click install. This will show the name and the shortcuts, basically what you type on the keyboard, it will show on the screen, so it's very easy if you want to learn how to use that program. So just click install, keep your IntelliJ, do not restart, because we need one more plugin that is called Save Actions, but for our purposes, our student Leonhard has actually made a better version of it. So just click on this version and just select install on that version instead of the original one, because the original one suffers from a few bugs that really are annoying. So one student that has completed our trainings, he was able to not only understand Minecraft but also understand IntelliJ, and he was able to fix that plugin. So very talented, and thanks so much. Shout out to Leonhard Sulbach. Alright, so once you do that, now it's time to do the fast scrolling plugin, right? Same steps, just click install, and then Lombok plugin, just Lombok, click install, and then Minecraft development. You can install this, but I stopped teaching it. I don't need this, and neither you do need this. I think it just adds a few more buttons, but it really doesn't do anything that important. So you can choose. I recommend you do not install this. All right, so that's it. That's step number 1. Then now you can close this sheet, and then just click here, configure, and then select import settings, and then navigate, download the settings from the link below the video that will point to our website, and from our website you can get the IntelliJ settings here. So just go to navigate to your desktop or wherever you have it, select it, click OK, and then select everything. There we go, and click OK, and this will import our settings, and then restart IntelliJ. So there you have it. Now it's time to code. However, we are over 40 minutes long, so I'm not going to show you how to make one plugin, because that would take another half hour, and then people would think, that this video is just too long for YouTube, apparently. So for that reason, I'm going to make another video after this one. So what's next? I mean, now you have your computer ready. It is time to code Minecraft plugins, right? And once again, this series here is just very small. We're just scratching the surface. If you want to learn more, we actually have a full training that works like an academy, like an online course with full access to me and our private community. And this is called Project Orion. So this is 8 weeks online course. You got a lifetime access, however, so you can complete this in 3 months, in half a year, doesn't matter. We got over 600 students and 700 positive reviews. And then we show you how to code your own plugins and then stop overwhelm while coding. This is something that I heard from a lot of people that were looking to prevent this. So I teach how to lower this significantly in the course. And then the best of all is that no previous knowledge is needed. And then this contains a full Java course. This is what I explained previously, Java Masterclass, as well as Spigot, Bukkit, and Paper training. And obviously the one-on-one mentoring and private community part. So let me show you what I mean by that. If I go to Mine Academy, and let me wait a few seconds here. And then, you can sign up here. Just click this button and then you can read about Project Orion a little bit. So you can read about it here. You can read about what it contains and, every week here. And then if I go to courses, Project Orion is here. And then you can see that this is pretty much a beast. It has, apologize, it has week 1, week 2, week 3, for example, ranking and statistics system. If you want to make custom enchantments here. Number 5, video has half an hour long, so it's pretty big, contains the source code. And then, for example, week number 4, NMS, we teach you how to do that. So that's very cool. I know a lot of people wanted that. So 1 hour, 16 minutes just on NMS and non-API code. We got a lot of the extra things here that you can use, such as how that works, how that works. We show you what this is in the course, and also, a little bit about it at the end, and then best practices when using NMS, also very handy, and you can literally just print it out and put it next to your desk. And then week number 5, it's the outer world, how to connect it to whatever you want, such as Discord or Bungie or Vote or even GitHub, how to share your code. And then mini games, and then sales and money. If you want to sell premium resources on Spigot, this is for you. And then complete a server setup, how to make a complete server from scratch, right? So very cool stuff. It's a huge course here. You can see how big that is. And we also have the Facebook groups, which we will, I think it's gonna be Discord server soon, but for now it's only on Facebook, and then we're gonna have a Discord server. And then weekly Q&A calls, which you can sign up for here. For example, today is one, and then next Saturday is one. So twice per week you can sign up for it. And then, you get to talk to me live. This is the last one, November 27. Oh, no, this is actually the one that's happening today. That's why it's here. It's actually happening in less than a half an hour. That's why it has been moved, and that's why I have to finish this video. And then the last one, November 23, you can see 51 minutes. I actually get to speak to people live and to help them solve their issues. So that's very cool. And you can literally ask me anything, and I'll be able to help you live.
Okay, can you sit?
And you can even share your screen, so you can even show me what's going on your computer. So that's very cool as well. All right, so that was a little bit about Project Orion. Now, if you want to get full access to this, just go to mineacademy.org, and I'll wish you best day or best evening, whatever you're having. We have been running for close to 50 minutes now, so congrats to you for staying that long. I wish you best of success, and I see you in the next video where we will start to build our first plugin. Goodbye.